Hi guys, today we're going to be reading Goosebumps, SLAPPY BEWARE. I'll do it chapter by chapter, but for now let's give you the introduction, some other stuff, and the first chapter. So R.L. Stine did an introduction, and I'll read that to you. R.L. Stine here, everyone. Readers beware. You're in for some special scares. I don't usually get to introduce my book and say hi to you, but as you can probably tell, this book is a little different. Yes, it's a hardcover book, and you'll find illustrations inside for the first time ever. That's because this book is a special collector's edition. This book marks the 30th anniversary of Goosebumps. 30 years of ghosts and ghouls, screams and howls, twists and surprises. There are more than 150 Goosebumps books so far. How many have you read? Of course, we wouldn't have this celebration of scares without one character, Slappy, the evil dummy. How did Slappy come to be alive? I'll tell that story in this book. Why is Slappy so evil? I'll explain that too. And I'll also tell you the worst day in the evil dummy's life. Yes, the day that could be Slappy's last day alive on Earth. The end of Slappy forever? Can you stand it? I won't keep you in suspense any longer. Let's start the story. Part 1. 200 years ago. Where did Slappy come from? What brought him to life? There are many stories and legends about Slappy's origin. Some say that an evil magician carved him out of the wood from a haunted coffin. One story goes that he escaped from a puppet factory in Cincinnati. I don't know how to pronounce that, just please excuse that. There are a lot of things I don't know how to pronounce in this book. Another legend says that the ghost of a 10-year-old boy lives inside Slappy's head. I'm not sure about those stories. I think the story I'm about to tell you is the true one. Slappy's story starts 200 years ago in a tiny village in Europe. So let's head there, to a cottage at the edge of the deep woods. That's where you will meet Darkwell the puppet maker. He is also a sorcerer. Darkwell is going to cast a secret spell. A spell that will change many lives as it travels through the centuries. What is this mysterious spell, you might ask? What is this curse that's been kept secret for 200 years? Be patient, readers. Let me tell you the story. Chapter 1. Flames crackled in the fireplace. They sent shadows leaping and dancing over the walls of the small cottage. Outside, the wind moaned, shaking the glass in the windows and whistling through the cracks of the thin walls. Feeling a chill, Ephraim Darkwell pulled his grey robe tighter around him. The old man's hood fell over his forehead, covering his long white hair. He leaned over his workbench, his hands moving a knife quickly, smoothly. Darkwell's deep grey eyes locked on the rounded piece of wood he was sculpting, a head. He rubbed his thumb over its sculpt, brushing away a splinter. He worked the slender wooden eyelids up and down. The face was nearly completed. He knew he had little time to finish. Wait, where was it? Where was it? Finish. He had heard the rumors, the talk in the village. He had explained to everyone that he was a simple doll maker, a builder of puppets. But the superstitious villagers didn't believe him. They spied on him from the woods behind the cottage. They watched him through the cottage windows. Somehow they had learned the truth. Darkwell was no simple puppet maker. He was a sorcerer who could magically bring his puppets to life, a master of the dark arts. But he had vowed to never use his powers for evil. He came to the village to work in peace, to be left alone to build his creations and explore the magic he had learned. He meant the villagers no harm until yesterday, when Darius Cobbin, the chief constable, burst into the cottage, grim-faced and wheezing in anger. That moment, Darkwell knew his peace had ended. "You and your nephew must leave," Cobbin boomed, banging his cane against the floor with each word. "You are not wanted here. Your evil magic has frightened everyone." Darkwell bowed his head. "I am a simple doll maker," he said. Cobbin smacked his cane hard against the wooden wall. His cheeks reddened above his grey beard. "Your lies cannot protect you, Darkwell," he shouted. "You have been seen talking to your dolls, and they have been talking back. They move about your cottage as if they are alive. You cannot deny the truth. It is too late." "I mean no harm," Darkwell insisted. "I did not come to argue," waving his cane in the air. "I came to warn you." "Warn me?" "There is talk in the village," Cobbin said, lowering his voice. "Talk of burning you out. The torches are already lit, Darkwell. Do you understand? The townspeople's anger. It cannot be controlled." Darkwell stared at the constable, allowing his words to sink in. "Get out!" Cobbin shouted. "Leave now, you and your nephew. Pack up and get out if you value your lives." The constable spun on his cane and stomped from the cottage. The slender door banged in the swirling wind. Darkwell pulled the door closed, feeling the cold air on his face. He shivered, but not from the cold. He shivered from anger that his work would be interrupted. He was about to finish his most magical creation yet. He could not allow the foolish, ignorant villagers to destroy his masterpiece. Darkwell leaned over the workbench all night, his hands working feverishly, and now he held the doll in front of him. Those fools will be sorry," he told the doll. "They have pushed me too far. Once you are finished, we will make them sorry they are alive." The lifeless eyes gazed up at him. The wooden lips turned up in a grin. The head laid tilted to one side. "Almost complete, my little friend." Darkwell said. But then he uttered a startled gasp as the cottage door swung open. A figure staggered in. His hair flew wildly about his face. His white shirt was stained, one sleeve nearly ripped off. A trickle of blood ran from his nose. His cheek was cut, blood forming a crooked line. "Isaac!" Darkwell cried, staring in horror at his 12-year-old nephew. "Isaac! Isaac! What have they done to you?"